Hello and welcome to Yahusha's Call. I want to thank you for tuning in, and we're going to get right to work. We're going to be talking about the gospel truth. And the last few series I've been teaching out of the Nag Hammadi, and I always show it to you. So if you want to get this book, you can. All right. And I'm going to be, today, I'm going to be on the Gospel of Truth on page 36. I'm just going to talk a little bit about it. I'm not going to make it too detailed because I'm kind of doing just want to talk to my sisters and brothers, really, kind of get them comfortable in this new walk. Because it's, like I say, it's more to it than just knowing you're an Israelite. You are under a curse that now that you have identity. Where do you go from here? We go deeper into his truths. We live out this life. We are the covenant people. We are the covenant he has set before the people of this earth. And we read that in, I think it was in Isaiah 49:8. We now have become a covenant. Did you know that? Read it and study it. But I'm going to go on over to the Nag Hammadi, and I'm going to go to page 36, those who have the book, and if not, those who get the book and come back. I'm going to read where it says, ignorance brings error, and I'm going to talk about error and ignorance today, because a lot of it going around. And we want to try to get ourselves weaned out of traditions and ideologies and man's teachings that are not relevant to the word. Now that the word is being opened up to us, we're finding a lot of things that have been taught are irrelevant, and a lot of it, I don't want to say most, but so much of it is in error. All right. All have sought for the one from whom they have come forth. All have been within him. The illimitable, the inconceivable, who is beyond all thought. But ignorance of the Father brought terror and fear, and terror grew dense like a fog, so that no one could see. This is where we all started the souls in Yah. Remember that. He is the one that all is within. Nothing exists outside of him. Would make sense that every soul had to have a starting place, and that was within him. That's what this is talking about. It goes on to say, but ignorance of the Father brought terror and fear, and terror grew dense like a fog, so that no one could see. Thus, error grew powerful. Error grew powerful. She worked on her material substance in vain. Since she did not know the truth, she assumed a fashioned figure and prepared with power and in beauty a substitute. A substitute for truth. We're dealing with a lot of substitute for truth lately. A substitute. When someone it can't come to grips with the truth, they want to invent truth. Invent a truth. I call invent a lie. Your truth, if it's not Yah's truth, is a lie. Goes on to say that she did not know the truth. She assumed and fashioned figure and prepared it with power and in beauty substitute truth. This was not humiliating for the illimitable, inconceivable one, for this terror and forgetfulness and this deceptive figure were a nothing. Whereas established truth is unchanging, unperturbed. See, that's why people getting all upset if you don't agree with the truth. You don't have to get upset. And beyond beauty. Something truth is beyond beauty. Beauty is not even a good descriptive word, is what it's saying. Okay? So why do we see so many perturbed? When you have the truth, you don't have to fight people. You don't have to bully people. You just live this life in truth. And pretty soon, it'll manifest. And that's what Yah wants. He wants things to become what he's working on the inside of you. He wants it to become manifest because we are the covenant people. And we are the ones that show the way to all the other nations how they can come and be a part of this wonderful kingdom. Can't do it angry with them. This was not humiliating, okay, to him because he knew. For this terror, forgiveness, and this deceptive figure were nothing, whereas established truth is unchanging, unperturbed, beyond beauty. For this reason, he wants us to despise error. And I think on the last broadcast, I talked about that, how we're to hate what Yah hates. And he didn't say go around hating on people. But he did say he did hate sin. He said he hate wickedness. And he going to punish the wicked. But now we talking about something that you can actually exercise your hate on, and that is error. I hate a lie. Don't you hate a lie? And I hate error is nothing but a lie, and lie is error. They didn't lie to us. Saints of the Most High, they have lied to us. Some, of course, many didn't know. But so much has been taught to us that was just simply a lie. And we got to unravel that so we can walk in all the pure truth. And it's so easy because Yahuwah is with us. He sent the Ruach Kadesh to help us. Error had no root. I'm reading in the Nag Hammadi now. Error had no root because it couldn't find it in Yahuwah because he is not a lie. Yahusha says he's not a man he should lie. Yah is not a man he should lie. There's no lie in Yah. Let's put it that way. It says she was in a fog regarding the Father. See, I found that people that don't know the Father, don't know Abba through Yahusha, when they don't know, they're quickly to believe a lie as the truth and cling to it. And they do that because they just don't know the Father. They do it because they don't know. And that's a sad place to live. For at least years, I didn't know. But he showed me because I had a heart to want to know. I always in my heart knew there was something more to this life than the one they call Christianity that I was living at that time. And I was never satisfied with it. Something was wrong and I never could put my finger on it. One of the things that they didn't teach repentance right. So I was half in, my mind, I was trying to really do all the things that I should do, but always feeling sad or feeling something was missing in my life, put it that way. I wasn't out there kicking my heels. When I backslid, I went on out in the world. But when I was in the so-called church, I believed in walking that walk the best I knew. So I know there's people out there who's doing that right now. But the Sierra doesn't have a root to it. And it means it ain't going to take you nowhere. And also, its deeds are contrary to Yah. You could be thinking you're doing something good. And it's not even good. Because it's not in Yah's heart that you'd even do that. How do you know what's in his heart for you to do if you don't even know him? Goes on to say, error had no root. She was the fog. She was there preparing works and deeds of forgetfulness. Preparing works and deeds of forgetfulness. And fear in order by them to attract those of the middle and take them captive. That's what error does. It takes those in the middle. What is this about? It's saying it attracts those earthly minded people that aren't, they kind of half in, half out, kind of earthly, kind of lukewarm kind of people in the faith. They take these people that are easily led and they deceive them. This people aren't coming to your door and say, I want to teach you a lie. No, they're always saying, I want to teach you the truth. But remember, we just read it's a substitute truth, which is a lie. It's an error. So if you don't want to reach out for the truth, there's somebody somewhere that will introduce you to a lie. But they make it look like it's the truth. Isn't that so sorrowful? Then it goes on to say that it attracts them. Nobody goes and joins up anything and it has not attracted them in some kind of a way. This substitute truth can attract. Where there is no truth, where the truth is not, the error can begin. Listen to this. The forgetfulness of error was not apparent. Well, he comes as an angel. Satan comes as an angel of light. He's not apparent. He's not apparent. He don't say, I'm coming at you. I'm the devil. I'm coming to tear you down. If he came like that, you'd take off the other direction, the opposite direction. No, he don't come like that. He make you feel like, look at the stained glass windows, look at the nice aisle, look at the beautiful or chairs or pews, whatever you got. There's a charismatic leader over you. Everybody just love him, her. They just wonderful people. They got it going on. Come on in and join us. Oh, it looks real good. I think I could use a little of that because I'm getting a little lonely where I am, and wow, that looks good. But let me tell you something. Most times these folks are in error, but you don't know it. Because they're not to be attracted to a building. You're not supposed to be attracted to the praise and worship group. You're not supposed to be attracted to the choir. You're not supposed to be attracted by the ushers board and how they march down the aisle on Sunday morning. You're not supposed to be attracted to the food line they have on Wednesday evening or Saturday after on the weekend. You're not supposed to be attracted by who's in the pulpit, which they ain't supposed to be up there no how. But anyway, you're not supposed to be attracted to them. You're not supposed to be attracted to none of those things. But yet, that's what they put in your face, and it's error. And you believe it because that's all you know. You come off the street. You ain't got nothing going that much for yourself where you're in the position you're in. So you buy it. Don't we buy it? Oh, yeah. You bought it. I bought it. Didn't know no better. Bought a lie. Just didn't know no better. The forgetfulness of error was not apparent from the Father. Forgetfulness did not come into being from the Father. But if it did come into being, it is because of him. In other words, even though he did not prescribe it, he did not create it, but when it did appear, it had to appear in him because all things are in him. See, he's not a liar, but because he's who he is, lie is inside of his presence, his majesty, because nothing exists outside of him. Don't you understand that? Nothing exists out there. Nothing. That's all it means. It didn't mean he's for that. No more than he was for Lucifer falling from heaven. You understand? Okay. What comes into being within him is knowledge. That's what comes to being in him. Knowledge. And we keep saying over and over, study to show yourself approved unto Yah. A workman need not to be ashamed. Rightly dividing the word of truth, which appeared so that forgiveness might be destroyed. We want to forget. People do everything in the power to have fun, to go on vacation, movies, parties, relationships, to forget. And they don't even know it. Why are they doing it? and never find satisfaction because that part of them that forgot is still sitting in there worried about it. But they keep coding it over, their conscience over and over until it's seared permanently and there's no hope. It's sad, isn't it? And it's happening to our Israelite brothers and sisters too. Don't think it's not. Don't just look at it. We're talking about the heathens. All right. Which appeared so that forgetfulness might be destroyed and the Father might be known. What do you think this is all about? This is all about destroying the lie, the error. Everybody wants to blame Satan for everything. He can't get around that many of you. Sometimes demons, of course, can get around. But let me tell you something. When you fighting Satan, you somebody. But his influence is everywhere. So you don't have to fight him personally. Everywhere you go, his folks is there to give you a rough time. If it ain't his folks, it's these demons. And the demons don't even like him. They don't like each other. They hate each other. They hate Satan. Satan hates them. Yet they can get together to terrorize Yah's people. They get along with there. That's the only thing they can agree with. Hate Yah and his people. That's it. So now we see that coming to understanding in the Father, not man's understanding, brings his people to know him. Forgetfulness came into being because the Father was not known. Do you hear me? Father was not known. So, as soon as the Father comes to be known, forgetfulness will cease to be. So I ask you a question. Have you forgotten? Are you so enwrapped with so-called church life, so busy, so wanting to be like somebody else, so wanting to be in the mix, that you would sit and let some man or woman, sermon's about the same every time you go anyway, sit there and lie to you, not telling you the truth of who you are, standing above you as if they were better than you, standing in a pulpit looking down as if they've been somehow raised above you, taking from you, giving very little to you. Have you become satisfied with that? Because if you're satisfied with that, then this message is not to you. You can turn the channel. Go, it's okay. But I'm telling you, those of you who are sitting there, so-called sun god day after sun god day, and you are listening to these same old washed over sermons with different titles, and you're not growing in faith and in who you are in Yahusha, and you're not learning that and walking in the power that he has died to give you, you rather run after a man or run after a woman because they're somehow well known or thought of by so many people, and you jump right in with everybody else. Some of you that I'm talking to need to come. You hear me and you know what I'm talking about. Come out. Be ye separate, saith Yahusha. Well, I'm going to leave my friends. I'm on the board. You better come out now. This is really a love warning. Because when these so-called churches start getting judged, you don't want to be nowhere around. When these 501c entities begin to pour down, you're not going to want to have anything to do with it. Stop giving to get in the first place. Stop that. It's not of the heart of Yahuwah. You give to be a blessing, not to get a blessing. You're already blessed if you've been redeemed. You already been blessed. Now all man is doing is giving a mess. You don't see anything that's going on in these so-called churches today that's scriptural. He never put one glorified person over everybody else. He put us together with many gifts to be shared among each other. Yes, there are pastors. Yes, there are leaders. Yes, there are. I'm one. But I will not suck up all the oxygen out of the room of the Ra'uka Kadesh's people, Yah's people, and squash their talents that he put in them and squash their gifts. No, I will not. Because then I would be going against his will. And I can't live like that. You don't glorify yourself and you don't glorify others. Glorify Yahuah Elohim, the Almighty, and come out of these traditions that glorify men. And if you're putting money at some preacher or evangelist or pastor's feet, that's idol worship. If you're esteeming a person that high that you can't even listen to the truth of Yah that's taught to you by his own prophet, you're in sin. You're in error. Yes, I said that. There's time that we all have to change something that we thought was right. The error has to be corrected. And the only way that error is going to be corrected is to remember it. Remember who he is, know who he is. You were there, you were in him before you came to be a body, a person in a body, I should say. His ways are past finding out except for those in whom he reveals. My prayer is that you would come out of this world's ideologies and out of these so-called man-made churches ideologies and be who Yah have called you to be. A covenant for the people to see. A light on a hill that's not hidden. Salt of the earth that brings life, restoration. And what does salt do? It keeps things fresh. It keeps us remembering. When you forget, any lie can come along and take you. A train of thought can get you off the mark. You can go with the trends and find yourself lost. You can be swept away by the streams of life, streams of men's, call it protocols and traditions, and be lost when there's so much great you can experience in Yahuah. So much fulfillment. So much satisfaction. So close to the Master. Come close, he says to me. Follow me and learn my ways. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. These folks ain't putting nothing light on nobody. They're stripping you of your money, your finances, your time, your effort, and Yahuah hasn't ordained any of it. He hasn't ordained that. I had this person one time, she was in our fellowship group, and she decided she wanted to go to some kind of a conference. And I saw who was putting it on. I knew that these conferences, stay out of these conferences. You know what? Really? Well, we can get into that you need to mark what conferences you go into because it's mostly a money situation, okay? Just tell it like it is. You don't need no conference. Be with the people that believe in Yahuah, Yahusha. Have yourself a home church. Stop the overhead. Stop paying all them tithes. You ain't got to pay no tithes. Oh, listen at her talk. Oh, that's right. I don't say nothing I haven't studied. And you just going on what you heard. Stop it. Why don't you form a group where you can worship in spirit and in truth? Because all this other stuff is going down. The churches are emptying. Unless they got a whole lot of different programs to attract people, they're not thinking about coming now. It's in that day now where people want the truth, not error, not a fabricated truth. Come out from among them. Be ye separate, says Yahusha. Be ye separate. You don't have to think like the world. You don't think like government. You don't have to think like school system. You don't have to think like your church system or organization. Think like Yahusha. Live like Yahusha live. Live holy, set apart unto him. The Father, he kept their perfection within himself, giving it to them as a means to return to him with complete, single-minded knowledge. Let me read it again, page 37 of the Nag Hammadi. He kept their perfection. When people tell me you're not perfect, well, you need to see my Father, because he keeps my perfection. I don't have to keep it. He keeps it. He keeps my perfection within himself because it's precious to him. And it's what I need. Giving it to them, giving it to us as a means to return to him. So all these souls, out, some of those souls will come back. And they will bring in the sheaves. They will bring in the fruits. They will bring in those that they have influenced for him. You can't influence them for him if you're influencing them for yourself, to get something out of it for yourself. Won't you come and make that decision yours? Pray. He loves you. You began in him, and that's every soul began him. But there'll be a few souls that will make it back. Let's make it back, saints. Let's make it back. I'm praying for you that you make it back. It took me a long time. It took me a few years. But I made it back. I'm home now. And he wants you to be home too. He wants you to be in heavenly places with him. He wants to speak to you in midnight, in night visions. He wants to speak to you in revelation and knowledge, joy and wisdom. It's all ours. We are the covenant people. Well, that's it for now. I'm going to let you go. You go with Yahusha, won't you? He's worth going with. Until next time. Bye-bye.